Hey guys, most of you are here from my film reviews channel, and some of you are also here from my music channel. So click on these things right here, and if you're from one of them, check the other one out. It's cross promotion from the same person. I'm gonna try and finish this before I head to work in an hour. We'll see if I can do that. Now to open up the document with all those fucking comments. And I'm going to read them backwards because YouTube saves them backwards when you go through the comments chronologically. What inspires your music? Oh, fuck! I gotta do the video responses first. Damn it.
Hey Adam, so my question is, what are some of your favorite YouTube channels? And also, what do you like with them?
Why don't you just click these links? And there'll be videos that you can watch from some of my favorite YouTube channels.
Hey Adam, I just want to say I'm a really big fan. You're one of my favorite channels here on YouTube. But my question is, what made you want to get involved in reviewing film and criticizing bad films? And if you have any hints or tips that you want to give to anyone who's interested in reviewing film or expressing their opinions on film itself. Thank you very much.
What got me interested in reviewing films is because I had a lot of friends that would use my taste to see movies. They'd be like, Adam, what's good? And I'm like, this is good or that's not good. And then I realized that people actually cared about what I said about films, or at least maybe I had some arguments to back them up. Maybe I've got nothing and I'm just full of myself. But I tried doing just one of those like straight talk to the camera things similar to the quickie, except that doesn't really work as a review, which is why those are separate. Those are just a little like you should see it or you shouldn't see it. Anyway, I tried doing that on this channel, and it didn't work out because it wasn't very good and it wasn't very entertaining. I didn't really like. If I'm editing it, then I can more so control what I'm saying, but if I'm just rambling about it, it doesn't really make any sense. A lot of people do that and they just bullshit it. They just really bullshit it, and I can't stand that, where they're not actually just a film critic, they're just using words like poignant. It's like, what, do you even know what that means? Like, yeah. Like, you're just looking for an excuse to use words. That's it. Anyway, so I stumbled across a YouTuber called Confused Matthew, and he's got a decent amount of subscribers, and he's gathering some form of income. In fact, I heard that sometimes people pay him to review certain movies, and this guy has no idea what he's talking about. He does not understand tone. He does not understand pacing. He does not understand anything about film. He's every single complaint that he's ever made can be boiled down to, well, I didn't expect this, therefore I don't like it, or I wanted something different personally, therefore it's bad. I watched his Lion King review, and it's three parts, and the whole first part is talking about how he doesn't like Simba as a young child. He's like, he's a brat, and then he says, if Simba wasn't a lion, him and Draco Malfoy would be the exact same character. I'm like, wow, this guy's getting tons of views, and there are people that actually agree with his opinion. So I figured if this guy can do it, I can do it, and I don't know. I'll feel good about myself once I've beaten his amount of subscribers, and that's my goal right now. You should watch the Lion King review. It's really funny. It's really bad. Oh God, where's the? Oh yeah, and Red Letter Media was a bit of an inspiration because I could be reviewing films on the internet, but it's not just about having an opinion on film. It's also about delivering it in an entertaining way. And when I saw that the Red Letter Media formula was a way that it could be done, I was like, Well, instead of doing the that guy with the glasses formula or the talk in front of a camera and bullshit using words like poignant formula or the text Roger Ebert formula, like no matter what I do, it's a formula, right? Red Letter Media is just like one of few people that does it because the way he does it is it takes a lot of fucking time and effort, and that's something I'm willing to do and not a lot of film reviewers are willing to do. So call me ripping him off, but just because I'm not ripping off somebody else, like it's not like I'm watching his reviews looking for points to use. I'm reviewing different movies. The only thing that's similar is tone, the fact that I'm using a voiceover, the fact that I'm showing clips from the movie, and the fact that I'm using music in the background. And anybody could be doing that, but nobody does that, so. And if you want any tips on how to make entertaining reviews, do a lot of research. I spend most of my time, well, not most of my time, I spend most of my time editing it, but I make sure to watch the movie twice. I take notes and pointers, and sometimes I'll have like a couple other people watching it with me that if they see anything that they'd like to point out about it, then if I find that it's a legitimate complaint, then I write it down. And then I go through the list of things that I wrote down and I decide, okay, this one's unfair, this one's nitpicking, blah, blah, blah. Or I need to point out that it's nitpicking and still it's funny to point out anyway. But the biggest thing I'd say is just make sure your editing is really tight. Cut out a lot of the fat. Nobody wants to hear you ramble on about the same thing for like 10 minutes unless it's part of your style and that's part of the humor. But my thing, and especially what makes me different from Red Letter Media, it's really tight and it's really I cut out a lot of the fat. Red Letter Media, part of the humor is that it'll ramble on for the same thing about the same thing for like 10 minutes. Part time, you know, like he'll stay on a certain topic. It's kind of like Family Guy, where you just like the more times you say something or the more times you do the same thing, the funnier it becomes. That's why he's got all those different all those different references to his own material. He uses the same jokes over and over again. I'm not saying it's bad, but that's part of his humor. Whereas mine is really, really to the point. Done, 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 done. Like the longest I've ever stayed on a certain topic was like on the 2 minutes where I showed all of those clips of Breathe Me by Sia in my Cyberbully review. And how could I show those clips without taking up time, you know? It's one thing to actually say it, and it's another thing to actually show it. I felt that needed to be shown.
Hey there, Adam. That's a nice haircut you got there. Handsome hair, handsome boy, handsome man. Question I have for you is well, I know you're into the musics. Know you like the music stuff, and I would bet that you've been to a few concerts, a couple shows. Now, in your opinion, best band or artist you've seen perform live?
Best concert I've ever seen, I'd have to split it between 3 bands. Billy Talent I've seen twice, and they pull a fucking great live show, great atmosphere, their instruments are really tight, well practiced, they're interactive with the crowd, it's a really good feeling. Bright Eyes, more subjective because they're my favorite band, and I love seeing them perform. And I'm not going to say they didn't do anything special. Oh, MSI is great too, live. I don't know. I've seen them live. But also, the Phenomenauts. They dressed up. It was like a really small venue, like not much bigger than my room. And they dressed up like robots and astronauts and aliens. And they were like, we're a local band, even though they were from the States and this was in Edmonton. They're like, we're from Earth. Go Earth. And then they played, and they had like a leaf blower attached with a roll of toilet paper on the end so that it like sprayed all over the crowd, and a bunch of like lights and smoke and shit. It was cool.
Hi Adam, I'm a big fan of your work and I wanted to ask 2 questions. I understand video responses are better, so even though this isn't a video and it's just audio, I hope you respond. So 1, how do you know The Amazing Atheist? 2, do you like Red Letter Media's other shows besides Plinkett Reviews? And last question, yeah I know I said 2, don't answer me. What music do you listen to? Alright, thanks, keep up the good work.
How do I know the Amazing Atheist? I was subscribed to him back when YouTube was not as big, and he didn't have as many subscribers. And I got his email, and then we chatted. So we're chatters. What was the second question? Oh yeah, do I like other Red Letter Media stuff? That video game thing, I only saw like the first episode of it. It really sucked. Their films are really like trauma-esque, like Lloyd Kaufman, like trying to be funny and bad, which is cool, but I just don't find it that entertaining. There's nothing wrong with it. Half in the Bag, I don't think that they've said anything that I hugely disagree with in that show, but it's not that entertaining for me to watch. I don't watch many like film reviewers, so I like the Plinkett reviews. Those are funny, but Half in the Bag, it's like if I had no idea what films I would want to see, then I'd watch that. If I had like no idea how to track a good director or anything, I'd probably watch that just so I could be watching some decent movies. But as I do have a basic understanding of what I want to see, I don't have to, so I'm not gonna. I already have way too much shit to do in a day. Like this, that's gonna take me all the time I have before work. What artists inspire your music? Bright Eyes, Regina Spektor, MSI, Eminem. Of course you might say, wait, my music doesn't sound like Eminem or MSI, or you could argue about any of them, but I've taken small bits of inspiration from them in different ways. Eminem has taught me, just through listening, a great deal about rhyme scheme that not many artists understand. Yeah. Yep. When can I collaborate with you in a song? I don't know. Send me some shit. What is your favorite movie of all time? The Holy Mountain. What did you think of The Hunger Games? After watching The Avengers, I'm not even that excited to see it, because I keep forgetting that just because everybody likes something, that doesn't really mean that it's going to be good. But I'll watch Hunger Games eventually. Would you make a Michael Bay Sucks special like you did with M. Night Shyamalan? That's confidential. Do you watch Nostalgia Critic? No. I tried. It's really bad. He's trying really, really, really hard to be funny, and every single one of the reviewers on his site spends like 7 or 8 minutes before getting to the actual movie doing some like really bad Smosh style home video. That was my alarm clock, in case I didn't wake up. It's the Lion King theme. Could you make a top 10 worst of 2011? I don't see the point. Movies are bad in different ways. Like, if I had Birdemic in my, like, worst movie of 2008 or 9 or whatever year its official releases, I still love it. I don't know how, like, my definition of what I hate necessarily isn't the worst, or vice versa. So, I don't see the point. I could just point out bad movies. I don't see the point in labeling one number one or whatever. How do you choose a movie to review? I watch it, and then I decide if it's review-worthy. I watch it once, and then I'm like, I could probably make jokes out of this, or it's really bad, but it's also really boring, so I'm not going to touch it. Because otherwise there would be, like, no time in my review. Cyberbully, I got a good 20 minutes, so that was a good one. What do you think of Jason Friesberg and Alison Aaron Seltzer and their movies. I think they're retarded. They're really bad, and they're unanimously bad. And I don't want to see them. Would you rather be a big mainstream band that survives the test of time, Led Zeppelin, Beatles, Rolling Stones, etc., or a big indie band popular amongst a smaller but likely to be tasteful and intelligent fan base? P.S. Also, could you spell amongst for me? AMONGST. I don't know. There's no context. There's no context. Because if people decide to shift gears and something is popular and also good, then it would be nice, but I'd rather, for my music, not sell out completely and make total shit. I'd rather be making what I want to make than appealing to a broader audience. Eminem was popular and good, but now he's popular and bad. What is the very first movie you remember enjoying as a child? Pound Puppies. I would rent it from the video store like every day, and this was in Athabasca. So I was 5 or younger, and I would rent it, and I would sing along to the songs that I don't remember. But I could search it up on YouTube. Here's a link. Were you inspired by the Plinkett Red Letter Media reviews at all? I basically already answered that. Are you gay? Yes. Fuck off, Joe. What are in your opinion, the most underrated movies and why? Foreign films, probably. Most people aren't exposed to them, and I don't know, like the last big foreign film would probably be like Pan's Labyrinth, but that was, I don't know, I can't even think of one that got that big that was foreign language. There's probably one I'm not thinking of, but people aren't exposed to foreign films. People are like, yo man, what's some good horror movies? Let's talk about horror movies. And every single time I'm like, have you seen Martyrs? Have you seen Record? Or Wreck? And they're like, no. Because those are foreign language films. So, nobody watches them. Do you think the mainstream music and movie audience is dumbing down as time goes on? The mainstream audience, are they dumbing down? If the mainstream audience just means the general population, I'd say no. Because if you look at like horror movies and film in general that was popular in the 1940s, it took a lot less to be able to scare people or convince people. Special effects has to keep up with the times, because the more that people know how something is made, the more it takes to be able to trick them. And that's all what a movie is tricking yourself into believing that it's happening, or at least providing the illusion. And if you have like really bad special, like, you couldn't make a Ray Harryhausen movie today and sell it and be convincing. The original Clash of the Titans, it's sweet, it's fun to watch, like all this claymation stuff, but it wouldn't sell today. And does that mean an audience is getting more intelligent? I don't know, but you're gonna have to do a lot more to convince them. Best superhero movie. I have to think about this one. I don't like superhero movies that much. Batman ones aren't really superhero movies anyway. And although I'm not like, "Rawr, they're the best things ever made," I still enjoy the Batman ones. And I enjoyed the Spider-Man ones, and even though the third one was kind of weird. but it was funny. um, Spider-Man's cool. If you're talking about a movie, then I'm not sure what answer to give you. But because like Batman's not really a superhero movie. It's not. There's a superhero in it, but it's not a superhero movie. Still need to see Zebra Man by Takashi Miike. Maybe that might be the one that I like. Any chance you make an instrumental track and let people create video responses in which they make up their lyrics? Chances that I create an instrumental track and release it, good. Chances that I might enjoy someone else creating their own lyrics to it are not very high. Do what you want, right? If I release it out there, you can do whatever you want with it, but that doesn't mean I'll like it. What I would like is remixes. I could release like individual tracks of my songs and then have like a remix contest. That would be sweet. How much more fucking awesome is Canada than the United States? Quite a bit. We've got basically all of your oil and fresh water and resources. Once global warming kicks in, more of Canada will probably be habitable and not so cold, while the United States will be a desert. Our government, although is currently conservative, every country has conservatives, and that's basically what slows progress down. We're looking to change that right now. Harper is a jerk, and everything that goes wrong with Canada can basically be blamed on him. Basically. Yeah, no money for education. We gotta spend money on fighter jets. Oops, it was only $10 billion off of what I said it was gonna be. My bad. $10 billion. What a fuck. Otherwise, there's great places in Canada, even though there's, like, we have the United States version of, like, a Bible Belt, but even in Alberta, like, in Edmonton was, like, one of the first churches in Canada to legalize, to have, like, a gay marriage in it, so we're not that bad, but there's still, like, Wild Rose Party. But we also have Marijuana Party. I don't know, there's ups and downs, but I think Canada's better in general. What is the point of Fight Club, and why is fighting such a big life changer and make them so happy? What the fuck would fighting make me happier? Or among those lines, like skydiving? Some people are looking for a rush. Some people need to know that they're alive, and I don't think the point of it is that it's something that most people would do. I think it's they introduced it as this new, like, you get this rush, bam, heroin. You get addicted to adrenaline, I don't know. My mom gave me a glass of her tequila and I had a buzz, now it's wearing off and it sucks. What's your view on smoking and stuff? Why do people like it? Smoking cigarettes? Because nicotine has addictive properties and it looks cool. So you can do it the not so bad for yourself way electronically. And that's, yeah. Technology is more powerful force than the desire for freedom. Also, we cannot separate good technology from bad technology. What? What? What do you... Technology is more powerful force than the desire for freedom, question mark. Also, we cannot separate good technology from bad technology, question mark. Word it better on my next one. WTF, why no sound? Your fault. So if TJ gets not productive up and running, will you become a contributor on the site? That's not up to me. Have you got in trouble with the law? Where does your money come from? Have I got in trouble with the law? I've ran into asshole cops before that see citizens as their enemies rather than what they're trying to serve. So, you could say that. Otherwise, I've never gotten arrested. I've called the cops a few times on my upstairs neighbors. Domestic disputes. Do you even lift? Oh wait, where does your money come from? I forgot about that one. I work customer service jobs, and sometimes I do porn on the internet, but that doesn't make very much, either of them. Do you even lift? I don't know what that means. Do I work out? Do sit-ups sometimes. What is your opinion of that guy with the glasses and many reviews featured on that website? Would you join them if given the chance? I think I've given my answer. If I get a boner when a lesbian touches me, does that make me gay? Are you a female? Have you seen the movie Solo 100 Days, 20 Days of Sodom? Yeah, and I didn't finish it. It wasn't that disturbing to me. It's like, great, you could watch the exact same thing without it being children, and nobody would care. It's the fact that it's children that people are disturbed. Question. Boobs. What's your answer? No thanks. Tits or ass? Ass. What is your opinion of the Pixar movies? How would you arrange them from best to worst? I'm not making this list right now. Anyway, I don't like Cars 2 or Toy Story 3 that much. But I do like Ratatouille and Toy Story 2. So figure it out. What is your favorite bad movie of all time? Probably Birdemic. Death Race 2 is also really funny. Can you review The Holy Mountain, the most grossly overrated cult film of all time? I think you're being a troll, because I love that movie. I'm not saying it's bad by any means. For peace of mind, fucking it's alright with its empty... It's not empty symbolism. Also, would you win a fight Lavos or Sin? Don't answer if you don't know. Two more of joke question. Well, I'm not going to answer the second one because I don't know what you're talking about. Holy Mountain is not empty symbolism. The more times you watch it, the more you understand about it. I hate movies that are empty symbolism. Sometimes, even David Lynch films, you could argue about the symbolism in his movies, but that's all it is. It's an argument. If you throw in as much random shit as possible that could be interpreted. I'm not saying David Lynch is a bad filmmaker, but I'm saying that there's no right answer to it. You know, and that's the thing about interpretation, is that there doesn't have to be a right answer to it. But in The Holy Mountain, I believe that there's a lot said about politics, about religion, about self-image, about society, everything that has to do with social and political commentary in the 1960s and 70s. And the fact is that it's still current and relevant today. If you actually pay attention to the movie, and if you actually think about it, and you watch the movie, try smoking weed. I don't know. I've seen the movie a few times, a lot of times, and every single time I watch it, I understand more about it. I've only watched it smoking weed once, but that's why it's my favorite movie. It's because there is substance to it. It's not empty symbolism. It's metaphor. It's everything. Not every single thing represents something. Some of it is just there to shock you. But there is symbolism, and it says a lot. Do you think movie watching audiences will ever get sick of superhero movies? Maybe. I, like many, discovered you through your music and through the Rock Band Network. It inspired me to make a song which I played keyboard, guitar, bass, and several vocal tracks, which is currently being authored for Rock Band Network, and I would just be interested to know, were your expectations met having a song soon to be songs on Rock Band Network, and how has it affected your fan base? Well, I've gotten a decent, some more fans. I've gotten, tiny, small amounts of revenue. It's not, the bestseller, but it's on PlayStation Network, too, so that means that enough people demanded it. So that's good news. All my other songs are going to be on there. Well, the ones from the demo. And, I think it's a pretty good thing to add to your music resume by saying you have a song in a video game, right? Put in the effort and pay the admission fee. But Jared Collins is nice enough to help me out with that. And be awesome about it. So thank you. Has it affected my fan base? I'm not sure. My music channel, I need to do some picking up because I've left it for quite some time without adding anything to it because I haven't really been in the position to be making music right now. Like, I'm still making it, but I need it to actually be like quality material, whereas that costs money. But I do have another song coming in the next couple weeks that I'm recording at a studio, so stay tuned. What do you think of Peter Jackson? He's alright. If Shay hates animated films, then why did he like The Lion King? Well, because he hates most animated films. Do you think that people only rate a Pixar film on a high level just because it was made by Pixar? Yes. But it's not necessarily about it being made by Pixar. It's about, the whole Toy Story 3 thing is about it being characters that people are already attached to. Without the first two movies, the third movie is nothing, and it wouldn't be so highly rated. Do you remember your first blowjob and how long did it take you to come? I don't remember my first blowjob. I don't know if I came on my first blowjob or if we like did other things and blowjob or what I was doing. I don't even remember. Wow. What did you think of the movie God Bless America? I'm planning on seeing it soon. What do you think about the European film industry? I like foreign films. I like French movies. They're good. Why did you cut your hair? Because it was getting long, and I'm gonna grow it back out to like around the same spot. I've done this before. It's not... it's still drying. I was in the shower. I don't know. It goes long, short, long. But this is still long, so I don't know why people have an issue. Ugh. Have you seen fellow movie reviewer Confused Matthew's review of The Lion King? And if so, what is your opinion on it? Yes. And I think I already explained that. It's basically the reason why I'm reviewing movies, because it was so bad. You had the choice to be Optimus Prime or Batman, who would you be? I'd be Batman, because then I'd be rich and I could do other things than just dick around and be a car. Are you atheist, theist, agnostic, or gnostic? I am atheist, agnostic. And I don't really want to get into it right now, but keep in mind that atheist and theist are answering one question, and agnostic and gnostic are answering a completely different question, and that's what I'm going to say about that. So that's why I'm atheist, agnostic. Tons of questions coming your way. Were you ever bullied as a kid or middle schooler, or was there someone in particular that would grind your gears? Lol in parentheses. Bullied, kind of. Some kids were jerks. It changed. But it was mostly like elementary school / kind of junior high, and then high school everything was fine. Shit really gets better once you get really tall. How often do you party like a rock star? If there was one person who you'd stay content to stay in a haunted elevator with for eternity, who would it be and why? Haunted elevator? Garrus. He could totally fuck the shit of any bad guys with his skills. Assuming that it's Mass Effect 1 and that you don't have to find new ammo. What is your weird and erogenous zone? What is my weird erogenous zone? My tummy? My testicles? My butt? Cuddle or no cuddle? Yes, cuddle. Would you be willing to reduce your life expectancy by 10 years to become extremely attractive or famous? I'm already mostly attractive and kind of famous. I'm cult famous. It's YouTube. So what? 10 more years to make it legit? I could do that. I've probably already reduced my life expectancy by 10 years anyway, so I'll probably be there anyway. Is you a virgin? Nope. Well, depends how you define virgin. It means like just vagina. I fuck dudes. You said you enjoyed Descent. What do you think of Neil Marshall's other films, Doomsday, Dog Soldiers, and Centurion? Centurion was, like, it was gory and funny, but it was kind of boring. Dog Soldiers was mostly boring, but kind of indie, funny. Doomsday was fucking hilarious, and I own it because I could see it a million times, and it's really funny. When you gonna smoke DMT? When someone offers it to me. Dear Adam, WTF? Any sports interests? Not really. Can't think of any. Describe your average week, job, hobbies, and time spent goofing around, etc. And what do you like to see yourself doing in 10 years? Job. I go to work. My shifts are completely random. So sometimes I'll be working opening, sometimes I'll be working closing. Sometimes I'll have 2 shifts a week, sometimes I'll have 5 shifts a week. It's kind of difficult for my paycheck. Hobbies. Film reviewing. Music. Video games. I'm really into indie video games now. It makes me even more of a hipster. And time spent goofing around. I don't know. Goofing around. What would you like to see yourself doing in 10 years? Jerking off. What is your favorite review in the Your Movie Sucks series so far? I don't know, because I'm constantly critiquing myself, and I like the way the format was of the M. Night Shyamalan review, and I think I could do another one like that, another like long one of several films. So I'll do that in the future. However, there's a few things there's like problems that I have with every single one of my reviews. So, like in the M. Night Shyamalan review, I didn't really defend myself as to why I thought The Sixth Sense was better than Unbreakable, because at the time I was kind of like, it's common knowledge. But I should have defended myself better. And I didn't really say much about it. Have you ever tried making a film with plot characters and shit? Yeah, go to my film channel. That's shit that I made when I was like aged 13 through 17. Click it. Was it root beer or soup? It looked like it. What? What? I've always been curious. How the hell did you make yourself throw up voluntarily in the Shyamalan Sucks review? I'll show you. So I'm gonna try and make my stomach full. Ugh. Sugar. Super cheap drink. 0 actual fruit content. It helps if it's carbonated too, which this isn't. But all you need to do is basically use your stomach as if it were one of your lungs. That was difficult. Nope, not happening that time. It does help if it's carbonated, which this is not. That was just a demo. Ain't that cool? Gross. I am such talented person. Try it at home. Ugh! Gross. It's in my nose. That really sucks. That doesn't feel good. That feels really gross. Why don't you get a haircut and have a shave? Well, I had a shave. I'm not gonna shave. I'm gonna wait until I'm bald to shave my head. I'm gonna grow hair while I can. Is having sex with your clone masturbation or homosexuality? Well, are you top or bottom? I don't know. One of you would have to be. You'd have to be sucking a dick or getting your dick sucked by a dude. I think it's pretty gay. I'd have sex with myself in a second. What's your favorite pickup line? My dick. It's not really one. What is your favorite movie about drugs, or what is your favorite movie to watch while doing drugs? Oh, it still feels really gross. The Holy Mountain. It's totally about drugs at points. Otherwise, Enter the Void's really good. Can you review a Serbian film? I've been dying to see that one. Here's my review. It's alright. It's shock value, but it's not anything much more. There are a couple parts that made me go, ah! If that's what you want to do, then watch it. Did you see Waltz with Bashir? Not yet. Do you think The Dark Knight Rises will live up to The Dark Knight? Based on the trailer, no. It looks like it's going to be good. I think Bane's voice is kind of stupid. The main... Let's say The Dark Knight did not have Heath Ledger's performance, what would it be? It wouldn't be as good. It's not going to be as good. Would you rather hang out with hipsters or rednecks? Why? Hipsters, because they won't kill me. Do you think the furry community will ever reach a mainstream status, or will it remain a subculture? It won't reach a mainstream status. It won't be mainstream to be a furry, but it might be mainstream to know what a furry is. Could you recommend any more animated films like Mary and Max? Fantastic Mr. Fox? What is your take on Bobcat Goldthwait's God Bless America? Haven't seen God Bless America yet. What are some good animated movies? Honestly, I can't think of any right now. Those are some really good ones. 2009 was a really good year for stop motion. Panique au Village also came out that year. If you could make it... This is really fucking disgusting in my throat. Thanks a lot. I did this to myself. Does it look red? I think I'm sick. If you could make anyone in the world your servant for a day, who would it be and what would you make them do? My servant? Not my slave? Anyone in the world? Does that mean they have to be a real person? Probably Garrus. Can't help myself. What would I make them do? You figure it out. What are some good action films? I like Crank. Duh. I mean, it's reversed. Stupid camera, not actually doing a mirror image. Oh, God. It makes me look dumb. I like Crank because it's different and it's self-aware. There are a lot of movies that are self-aware that are not different, so what's the point? I don't know. Some movies where it's like, yeah, they tried to be really dumb, but you could say that about anything. You could say that about, like, Surrogates. Crank was original enough that I liked it. I don't see the point in watching a movie that I could see, like, 1,000 different versions of. Like, what would be the point of me watching this particular movie, is my point. Like, when you watch a movie like Surrogates, and I'm like 20 minutes ahead of the movie, the entire movie, then why am I even watching it? I could just stay at home and think about what I think the movie would be, instead of actually watching it, and I would get the exact same experience, because it's fucking predictable and not original. What do you think of Stephen Wright's One Soldier, and do you know any way for me to get money for my short stories? The kicker is I have absolutely no connections. Thank you and good night. I do not know of One Soldier. And how would you get money? Do a fucking thing. What is that thing? Indiegogo, yeah. Do a campaign there. Yeah, you can just make an internet YouTube video and add some really sad piano music and talk about some children in Africa, and then people donate to you. If you could choose Nicolas Cage to star in a remake of any movie, what would it be? Evil Dead? That would be a good one. And when I say Nicolas Cage to star in a remake of any movie, I'm more thinking Nicolas Cage playing all the characters. There was a movie I saw recently, and I think Joe was like, if Nicolas Cage was in the movie, it would be better. That's true for most movies. You mentioned in your Cyberbully review that the song Breathe Me has been one of the most incredibly overused songs in media. What are some other songs that are grossly overused? Anything written by John Murphy is overused, and he doesn't even get credit for it. Also, Lux Eterna by Clint Mansell is overused. There's a lot of overused songs. That song that plays in any really bad movie that when you know that they're gonna have sex and it's like, I've been feeling fine, baby, and that's everywhere. Do you hold a secret affection for any of the films you consider bad? I give extra points for something being original. So, like, I wouldn't consider Rubber a good movie, but at least I appreciate it for what it tried to do. If you could you make a reaction video to Two Girls, One Cup? Let me just give you a hint of what it would look like. No, I've been on the internet, okay? I've seen much worse things. And it's pretty clear that they weren't actually eating poop, that they, like, sprayed chocolate mousse up her butt, and then they ate that. Which isn't bad. If you clean out your butt, you're not gonna die, or, like, even taste shit. They cleaned the... I don't see what the big deal is. They didn't actually eat poop. It was chocolate mousse. Then they vomited on each other. That was funny. Because enjoying films is supposed to be subjective, is there any certain criteria that needs to be met for you to consider a movie great as opposed to just good in regards to specific genres? Ah, that fucking vomit fucked up my throat for this whole thing. To consider a film good instead of great. I mean, great instead of good. For me to give it a 7 instead of a 6, I have to actually enjoy it, or possibly even want to see it more than once, although I have given movies a 7 that I will never see again. But giving some appreciation for it, mostly for originality. But otherwise, if it's something that's, like, original that doesn't work, like, it's clear what they tried to do, and they just didn't do it very well, or original and, like, not entertaining at all. It's completely dependent on the film. I don't make blanket rules for films, otherwise that completely defeats the purpose of originality. If you say that every film has to be a certain way, then you're a dick and you're a confused Matthew. What is your school life like? Not education. What was my school life like? It was fine. High school was alright, but I dropped out because I didn't like it. And then I took condensed courses, really small ones over like a month. How did you become so cool? Origin story. Drugs. What is your most hated movie of all time? The Turin Horse. The only reason is because I posted a quickie on it, and since nobody knew about the movie because it's like the most hipster movie ever made, the only people that actually saw my quickie, like, if you typed in, like, the Turin Horse, you'd see, like, 2 trailers for the film in the search result, and then my thing about it, because nobody's seen it. And so, of course, the majority of the people that actually saw my review about how I thought it was dumb were like diehard fans, right? They're like the only people searching about it. So they downrated it, and then they're like trying to make arguments, but really they're just like, you fucking gay, your girlfriend pegs you in the butt, right? And I've thought more about the movie because of it, and it's just potato porn. It's potato porn. It has a good score, and then they use it every 5 minutes, and it destroys it. It's like overusing a song within one movie. Try to watch it. You guys will all agree with me on this one. It's really bad. They're like, oh, because you don't like it, you must like Transformers. You cut your hair. Yes, I did. I know you review movies and not songs, but I'll ask anyway, what are your feelings towards that one popular song, Somebody That I Used to Know by Goatee? It's really catchy, and it is something that I consider good that's popular, and I'm surprised that it got like 200 million views on YouTube. Everybody's covering it. I like it. I like it. I do like it. What are some of your other hobbies besides movie reviewing? Jerking off. Are you ever planning on making the site look better? Yes, I'm definitely doing that. Are you a furry? Yes. Do you like the movie Fight Club? Yeah, I do. How do you like the movie Swept Away by blah blah blah? I haven't seen it. Did you think the political? I don't know. I didn't see it. If you haven't seen it, how do you feel about Owen Wilson? He's good in Wes Anderson movies. Are you a tender lover? Tender. It's a weird question. Am I tender? I don't know how to answer that. I'm really subby. Who would win a fight, David Lynch or George Romero? David Lynch. Why do you choose to have 3 YouTube channels? Why not 3 playlists? Actually, I have more than 3 YouTube channels. Boop. I don't know. I like to have one thing for one thing. My music and my film reviews are different things. Dear Adam, how do you grow your hair so long? By not cutting it. Did you get the strike taken off your channel from Lionsgate? Yes, but now I have a strike from Warner Brothers Entertainment. Lionsgate has apologized and removed their strike, so you should keep buying their films, and they're a good studio. Warner Brothers Entertainment, however, you should not buy their films because they're jerks. Literally, it's on my top 10 of 2010 video, so you can actually see the list out of like 15 different things that showed up of having copyrighted material in them. Every single studio was like, yeah, fair use, and then Warner Brothers Entertainment is like, that's mine. You don't get to use it. How do you get to be friends with the Amazing Atheist? Already answered. It's Jess. Hey, Jess. Here is a question, Adam. Have you ever heard about the story of the eye? It's an 20s French novel about orgies, sexual debauchery, exhibitionism, and sticking stuff up ladies' vaginas. I have not, but now I have. Tell us how much you like Spooge, Adam. I like it a lot. Did you watch The Muppets and Fincher's Girl with the Dragon Tattoo? No, those are on my list of things to see. Do you think The Dark Knight Rises will live up to the hype? Already answered. What do you think of the previous 2 films? I enjoyed them, even though I don't spooge my pants over them like most people. What do you think of the prequels trilogy of Star Wars? Blah! Meh. Why would I ever want to watch them? I've seen them, but why would... They don't affect me. Why don't you make more videos? I think you can get more subscribers and viewers if you pump out a video at least every 2 weeks or so. Well, mostly because you guys don't fucking pay for me yet. I have like 2,000 subscribers on my film review channel. Think about it this way. If every single one of those subscribers gave me $1 a week, I could quit my job and just be doing film reviews. $1 a week. I would love for my main source of income to be from the internet, but it's not. So, although I would love to have my priorities be my film reviews and my music, I put as much time towards them as I can. Plus, reviewing films requires me to watch films and not just edit them. I have to watch them first. That takes up a lot of time. I don't even get to have as many things as I'd like to currently.